Hello, it's Mary Sheila, and I am going to make something that is so delicious. You're gonna not want to miss this. Anyway, it's almost Thanksgiving, and there's a recipe that I make every Thanksgiving, and I am actually, before I get started, going to dedicate this recipe to my dear friend Miriam Redstone, who passed recently this year. And every year I'd make this, I'd always call her and say, hey Miriam, can you remind me that recipe? I had it in my recipe books, but it was just easier to call her. Anyways, this is a cranberry sauce that is totally different and so flippin' good. You're gonna love it. So I'm making it early so you can get the ingredients and make it yourself for your Thanksgiving table. Please post a comment if you do, because I'd love to hear what you think of it, how you like it. It's totally different. People are always suspicious and not sure about it. And so the recipe's up here too. And it calls for 1 small onion. So obviously this is not a small onion, but I thought I would just show you that it's fine if you don't have a small onion. You just use a big one and just use part of it. So I'm gonna use about this much of a bigger onion, about a medium-sized onion, and I'm just gonna chop it. The cool thing about this recipe is you put it in the food processor, so you do not need to chop it too fine. And the other cool thing about onions, especially the red onion, so anytime you see this color, it's actually really good for us. It's gonna have lots of flavonoids and colors. Colors are a way to know we're getting good health, especially when they're natural. I'm gonna throw the onion in there. And onions are really good. They've got a lot of quercetin, which is actually really good for your lungs. So if, you know, as we're coming into this cold season, it's really good to protect your lungs, and that's a good thing. The other main ingredient, as if you haven't already guessed, are cranberries. So what I did beforehand is I rinsed my cranberries. If you can find them organic, woohoo, good for you. But, and that's a good thing. I know there's some kind of like, somebody else might know more than me. I know they collect the cranberries up in the East Coast, but I know there's like kind of a little drop test. They have to be able to bounce a little bit. So they're really, they're super light. So whenever I rinse them, I always just sort of put them into a bowl and feel them, because you're always gonna have a couple little soft ones. So my cranberries, which are gonna be raw, I'm not gonna cook them in this recipe, so I'm gonna get a lot of the good antioxidants that come with the cranberry. And they are really good for the urinary tract to prevent infection. So you've probably drank cranberry juice if you were starting to feel like you were maybe getting a kidney or bladder infection, but they're also really good for the lymphatic system. They're a great, super like low glycemic fruit. It's not like we sit there macking on them. Although if I had them growing near me, I probably would have lots of ways to know how to mac on them. So if you do, you should share that. Okay, so far I've got onion and cranberry. Next, I'm gonna put sour cream. I know, I told you, this is a different recipe. Okay, so I put 3/4 of a cup of sour cream. So I put 2 cups of cranberries, 3/4 of a cup of sour cream. And this is a good organic sour cream. So it also has live cultures in it, which is something I always look for. Then I'm gonna do horseradish. Hey, horseradish, I'll spice it up a little. So this is 2 tablespoons of horseradish. Sometimes I have fresh horseradish and I will look for it. It's just the market that I bought, the ingredients didn't have it. I will look for fresh horseradish and grate it, but I just bought a horseradish sauce. And then the last ingredient, which is something I try not to do so much of in these shows, is sugar. But this is a good organic sugar, and this about 1/2 cup. I went a little less than 1/2 cup. So I've got horseradish, onion, cranberry, sour cream, and sugar. I'm gonna blend this up, and this is gonna be a cranberry sauce. And it's so good, you guys. I swear, it is really, really good. Different, unusual, but good. And if you end up having like a turkey sandwich after Thanksgiving, it's really good on the sandwich, or just leftover turkey. So I'm gonna just take this is it. I just made it. So cranberry, and I make it kind of chunky. I don't blend it super duper. And I probably showed you this trick before, but if you have a Cuisinart and you use it and you take your finger and just hold on to your blade, then it's real easy to just pour it all in. And there I've got my cranberry sauce. It's gonna sit and get really nice. And actually Miriam used to always say that she would make it and freeze it and then break it out right before Thanksgiving. So she'd make it ahead of time, and she thought it tastes even better that way. So you can try that if you make extra and put it in the freezer because you realize I'm right and it's so delicious and you want to just keep making it, or make it so you have it for a little bit, you know, during the winter, because cranberries are kind of a season. But if you like it, then you can make it again for, you know, the next coming holidays that you enjoy, like Christmas or, you know, whatever it is. Anyway, this is your delicious cranberry sauce. It is so good. I hope you try it, and if you try it, tell me in the comments how much you love it. And if you don't love it, well, I'm sorry, but somebody at your table will. So that is my Thanksgiving recipe. I hope you like it, and yeah, make it. It's so good. And I hope you all have a good Thanksgiving with your loved ones and your family and your friends. And if you're traveling, I hope you have very safe travels. And I will talk to you all in the next one. Thanks. Bye.